Hi guys, welcome to Justice Computing class. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more ICT lessons. Don't forget to share, like, comment and subscribe for more ICT lessons. Justice Computing class is the best.
Hi guys, welcome to Justice Computing class. Today's lesson we are going to look at BC 2015 Private. That's the NOVDEC for JHS class. If today is your first time of seeing me on your screen, I advise you subscribe to my channel and also press the notification bell. So anytime we upload a new video, you'll be the first person to be notified. Without wasting my time, I would like to take you through the lesson straight away. The first question. So what I'm going to do is that I'll be reading the question. Get your jotter and your pen. As I read the question, you write down your answer. When I finish at the end of my lesson, I'll be giving out the answer so that you mark and check your answer. So the first question is, keys on the computer keyboard which are used to control the movement of the cursor are A. Alphanumeric keys, B. function keys, C. navigation keys, then D. numeric keys. Question 2. Which part of the personal computer perform the transformation of data into information? Which part of the personal computer performs the transformation of data into information? A. Input device, B. the output device, C. the storage device, then D. system unit. Which of the following is needed for a user to access the internet? Which of the following is needed for a user to access the internet? A. Keyboard, B. modem, C. projector, then D. scanner. A. Keyboard, B. modem, C. projector, then D. scanner. The device that converts computer output into display images is the device that converts computer output into displayed images is A. hard disk, B. monitor, C. printer, and D. processor. Go over the objective answers again. A. hard disk, B. monitor, C. printer, and D. processor. Question 5. Which of the following cannot be used to backup? Which of the following cannot be used to backup? Which of the following cannot be used to backup data? A. compact disk, B. hard disk, C. pen drive, then D. random access memory. A. compact disk, B. hard disk, C. pen drive, then D. random access memory. Question 6. Which of the following media stores data sequentially? Which of the following media store data sequentially? A. compact disk, B. digital visitor disk, C. hard disk, then D. magnetic tape. I go over again. A. compact disk, B. digital visitor disk, C. hard disk, then D. magnetic tape. Question 7. Starting a computer is also referred to as. Starting a computer is also referred to as A. booting, B. running, C. tasking, then D. turning on. A. booting, B. running, C. tasking, then D. turning on. Question 8. The computer keyboard keys combination, that CTRL plus Alt plus Delete, enables user to see the computer keyboard keys combination, that's the CTRL Alt plus Delete, enables user to see the A. open dialog box, B. save as dialog box, C. shut down dialog, then D. Windows task manager. A. open dialog box, B. save as dialog box, C. shut down dialog, then D. Windows task manager. Question 9. An example of an operating system is A. Calc, B. DOS, C. Disk, then D. Word. A. Calc, which is C-A-L-C, D. DOS, which is D-O-S, then Disk, which is D-I-S-K, then the Word, which is W-O-R-D. Question 10. One component of the system unit is, again, one component of the system software. One component of the system software is A. Application software, B. Linux software, C. Microsoft software, then D. Operating system. A. Application software, B. Linux software, C. Microsoft software, then D. Operating system. Good. Question 11. To copy a file means to A. Cut a file, B. Delete a file, C. Remove a file, then D. Move a duplicate of a file. A. Cut a file, B. Delete a file, C. Remove a file, then D. Move a duplicate of a file. Question 12. A group of files are stored in a folder, B. Graphic, C. Text, D. Word. A. Folder, B. Graphics, C. Text, then D. Word. Good. Question 13. Dragging a folder from one drive to a window on another drive is equivalent to a dragging folder from one drive to a window on another drive is equivalent to A. Copy operation, B. Cut operation, C. Delete operation, then D. Move operation. A. Cut operation, A. Copy operation, C. B. Cut operation, D. Delete operation, then D. Move operation. Question 14. When a computer processes data, it produces A. Data, B. Information, C. News, then D. Storage. A. Data, B. Information, then C. News, then D. Storage. Question 15. The information processing cycle includes the following except A. Booting, B. Data, C. Information, then D. Storage. Question 16. The following are possible health problems with a long-term exposure to ICT tools except. The following are possible health problems with long-term exposure to ICT tools except A. Backache, B. Damage to sight, C. Toothache, then D. Wrist pain. A. Backache, D. Damage to sight, C. Toothache, then D. Wrist pain. Question 17. Which of the following is a good precaution in using compact discs? Which of the following is a good precaution in using compact disc? A. Touching media surface, B. Placing media near magnetic field such as speaker, C. Leaving media inside disk drive at all drives, then D. Placing media inside safety boxes at all time. I go over the answers again. Touching media surface, that is A. B. Placing media near magnetic fields such as speaker, C. Leaving media inside disk drives at all drives, then D. Placing media inside safety boxes at all times. Question 18. The regulation standard that a computer user follow to use computer effectively are refers to as. The regulation standards that a computer user follow to I repeat again, the regulation standard that a computer user follow to use computer effectively are referred to as a computer dash. A. Ethics. B. Fraud. C. Right. D. System. A. Ethics. C. Right. B. Fraud. Then D. System. Question 19. The legal right that does not allow individual to copy intellectual property of original owner is called. The legal right that does not allow individuals to copy intellectual property of original owner is called A. Copyright. B. Freeware. C. Piracy. Then D. Property. A. Copyright. B. Freeware. C. Piracy. Then D. Property. Question 20. Which of the following application package will support mathematical calculation? Which of the following application packages will support mathematical calculation? A. Database. B. Presentation. C. Spreadsheet. D. Word processor. A. Database. B. Presentation. C. Spreadsheet. D. Word processor. Question 21. The following statements are true about ICT tools except. The following statements are true about ICT tools except A. Make learning difficult. B. Make learning easy. C. Make students to learn at their own pace. Then D. Are used for searching information on various topics. A. Make learning difficult. B. Make learning easy. C. Make students to learn at their own pace. Then D. Are used for searching information on various topics. Question 22. Which of the following keys is used for multiple selection of text that are not continuous? Which of the following keys is used for multiple selection of text that are not continuous? A. Alt. B. Backspace. C. Control. Then D. Shift. A. Alt. B. Backspace. C. Control. Then D. Shift. Question 23. The computer keyboard key combination that is used to create news document in word processing application is. The computer keyboard keys combination that is used to create a new document in word processing application is A. Alt plus D. B. Alt plus N. C. Control plus D. Then D. Control plus N. Question 24. Which of the following keyboard keys will allow a user to move the cursor from its current position to the beginning of the text page in a word processing program? Which of the following keyboard keys will allow a user to move the cursor from its current position to the beginning of the next page in word processing program? A. Control plus End. B. Control plus Home. C. Control plus Page Down. Then D. Control plus Page Up. A. Control plus End. B. Control plus Home. C. Control plus Page Down. Then D. Control plus Page Up. Question 25. The backspace key may be used to dash. The backspace may be used to dash. A. Add space between typed words. B. Delete typed data in the reverse direction. C. Delete typed data in the forward direction. Then D. Move the insertion point backwards. I go over the possible answers again. Add space between typed words. B. Delete typed data in the reverse direction. C. Delete typed data in the forward direction. Then D. Move the insertion point backwards. Question 26. A design of letters, numbers, and symbols that are displayed in the word processing is referred to as. A design of letters, numbers, and symbols that are displayed in a word processing is referred to as A. Align. B. Bullets. C. Font. D. Indent. A. Align. B. bullet, C. font, then D. indent. Good. Question 27. To make quick format changes from the formatting toolbar, use the command button. To make quick format changes from the formatting toolbar, use the command button, which is A. Possible answers: A. copy, B. cut, C. word art, then D. format painter. A. copy, B. cut, C. word art, then D. format painter. Question 28. Which of the following document views will show the document as it will look like when it is printed? Which of the following document views will show the document as it will look like when it is printed? A. normal view, B. outline view, C. print layout view, then D. web layout view. A. normal view, B. outline view, C. print layout view, then D. web layout view. Good. Question 29. In a word processing program, the toolbar containing commands for changing the appearance of characters is the. In word processing program, the toolbar containing command for changing the appearance of character is the A. drawing toolbar, B. formatting toolbar, C. picture toolbar, D. standard toolbar. I go over again. A. drawing toolbar, B. formatting toolbar, C. picture toolbar, then D. standard toolbar. Question 30. To print a document after previewing, use the. To print a document after previewing, use the A. edit command button, B. open command button, C. print command button, then D. save command button. A. edit command button, B. open command button, C. print command button, then D. save command button. Question 31. The software used to enable users to access web pages on the internet is called. The software used to enable users to access web pages on the internet is called A. access engine, B. browser, C. search engine, D. web browser. I go over again. A. access engine, B. browser, C. search engine, D. websites. Question 32. Which of the following website address is in its complete standard format? Which of the following website address is in its complete format? A. www.wayekghana.http.org. The HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So I repeat again, the possible one, the A. www.wayek, which stands for Ghana, .http.org, then B. www.http://wayekghana.org, C. http://www.wayekghana.org, then D. http://wayekghana.org. Good. Question 33. Which of the following refers to unsolicited email in form of advertising chain letters? A. compose, B. inbox, C. sent, D. spam. A. compose, C. sent, D. spam. Question 34. Transferring data from remote computer to a local computer is referred to as. Transferring data from a remote computer to a local computer is referred to as A. downlinking, B. downloading, C. unlinking, then D. uploading. A. Downlinking, B. Downloading, C. Unlinking, then D. Uploading. Question 35. The importance of electronic mail is to The importance of electronic mail is to A. Manage websites, B. Navigate the internet, C. Communicate with other users, then D. Access information on the internet. I repeat the possible answers again. Manage website, which is A, B. Navigate the internet, C. Communicate with other users, then D. Access information on the internet. Question 36. In a website address, the acronym HTTP represents in a website address, the acronym HTTP represents the A. Address, B. Location, C. Protocol, then D. Server. A. Address, B. Location, D. Protocol, then D. Server. And remember, the HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Question 37. The World Wide Web is also called A. Browser, B. Map, C. Sites, D. Webs. A. Browser, B. Map, C. Sites, D. Websites. Question 38. In a spreadsheet application, which of the following can be identified by a number? In a spreadsheet application, which of the following can be identified by a number? A. Cell, B. Column, C. Range, then D. Row. A. Cell, B. Column, C. Range, and D. Row. Question 39. The intersection of the 7th row and the 8th column in a spreadsheet application will have the cell reference. The intersection of 7th row and 8th column in a spreadsheet application will have the reference A. G8, B. 8G, C. 87, D. 7H. A. G8, B. 8G, then C. 87, then D. 7H. The last question, which is question 40. The selected cell in a spreadsheet application is called A. Active cell, B. Cell address, C. Name box, D. Sheet tab. A. Active cell, B. Cell address, C. Name box, and D. Sheet tab. So that is the end of the objectives. So I expect you to write down your answers as I said. I'll be projecting my answers at the end of the lesson so that you mark your answers. So kindly stay tuned as we continue with the section B. Welcome back. So now let's look at the paper 2 of the ICT. Let's look at the section B aspect. First of all, we'll look at the practical aspect, then we'll move on to the other questions. You know, ICT questions cover, you are supposed to answer the practical aspect compulsory question, then you select 2 other questions whereby the practical question will be marked 24, then the other question will mark 12, whereby you get 36 in all, you score 60 in addition with your 40 objective question before you be thinking of getting your grade 1 in ICT. I know you are good in ICT, so kindly pay attention as I take you. Make sure you get your jotters. This time around, you are not going to write down the answers. I will take you to the section B whereby you are supposed to be jotting some of the things down, whereby some of the things that you normally find it difficult to know or you don't actually know them. In this question, you'll be able to understand them and make sure you jot certain things down so that you'll be able to apply them when you are writing your BEC 2020. Good. Now let's continue. The first question here, which is the practical aspect, is identify the following peripherals. As you can see on your screen, we have the first one as you can see, the first one, which is what? Computer microphone. Then we have the second one, which was mouse. That's the computer mouse. Then we have the next one, which is what? Optical disc pack. So that's, you can see, that's the I, which is a computer microphone. Then we have the computer mouse. Then we have the optical disc pack. Now let's look at the next one, which is B. Using the table below, indicate where the following components can be seen on the system unit. So we have the table, as you can see on your screen. So we are going to group them: inside view, back view, then we'll look at the front view. That's the system unit. So the first one, I have the listed components here. I have the first one with the motherboard, the compact disk slot, the random access memory, the power supply port. You have the PS2 and the central processing units. I know you are thinking of how to put them together as I'm mentioning them, but as you are also thinking, let me also take you through so that you get it correct and right. So the first one, that we have the motherboard. The motherboard is found inside the system, so that is inside. So right at the column inside view. Then we have the next one, compact disk. The compact disk is where? That's the compact disk slot, that is front view. So when you look at in front of the system unit, we have the compact disk slot in front of the system unit. Then we have the random access memory. So the random access memory, as you know, it is found inside the system, so the inside view. Then we have the power supply. So the power supply is always at the back. When we are connecting our system unit, we plug the power supply port at the back. Then we have the PS2. That one is also at the back. The PS2 port is also at the back. Then we have the central processing unit. That's the CPU. It's also found inside the system, which is the inside view. Good. Question 1C. State 3 ways of using computer mouse. State 3 ways of using computer mouse. State 3 ways of what? Using computer mouse. You know some of them. You know the uses of the computer mouse. I know you are thinking of what to say, but let me take you through some of the simple answers whereby it will help you to pass your BEC simple. So the first one, it is used for clicking. When you write that, the examiner will mark it correct. 2, it is used for double clicking. It is used for clicking and dragging. And it's also used for right clicking. So simple answers for you to get your marks. It's better than you writing long story whereby the examiner will mark you down. Are you okay? So write simple answers to help the examiner mark your script very easily for you to get your grade 1. Question 1D. Provide the computer keyboard keys combination or keys that will enable a user to perform the following actions in a spreadsheet application. So we have the first one, which is I. We'll move the cursor to the first cell of a worksheet. So what do you think? Which of the keys that you think will be appropriate for the user to use? So we have the control plus home. Control plus home. I repeat the question again. Move the cursor to the first cell of a worksheet. So we have control plus home. Then II, cancelling an entry in a cell or a formula bar. So that one you use what? Escape. Escape. It's always found at the top left corner of your keyboard. The top left corner of your keyboard. Then the third one, which is completing a cell entry from a cell or a formula bar and selecting the cell below it. So that one you use the enter key. So anytime you want to enter a text into a next cell, you just press what? The enter key to move to the next one. Question 2. Now we are done with the practical aspects. Let's look at the question 2. The question: explain the following terminologies as used in a word processing environment. Explain the following terminologies as used in a word processing environment. The first one is test the word wrap. The first one is what? The word wrap. Please kindly write it down because these are examinable questions whereby the examiner can ask you questions. ICT questions, on the more serious note, ICT questions are not difficult. Simple questions, but if you are not careful, you don't apply the terminologies or the terms, then you get them wrong. So I expect you to jot these words or the terms, the definition of these words down. So the first one, which is A, it's what? Word wrap. It's a feature of word processing software that are automatically continuous text on the next line when you reach the end of the current line. I go over again. It's a feature of word processing software that automatically continue the text on the next line when you reach the end of the current line. When you are typing, assuming you are using your word processing application, you are typing, you realize that immediately you type and the text reach the tip of the word, it moved to the next line without you pressing the enter key. So you realize that the cursor moved down after it getting to the end of the document. So that we call that in text word wrap. Are you okay? We call it word wrap. Then we have print preview. Print preview. In other words, you see the print preview, it helps the user to see the document, how the document will look like when it's printed. It helps the user to see or to view the document on the screen, how the document will look like when it is printed. But let's look at this one to enable the user to view how the document will look like when printed on a paper. So in other words, if you could remember, your teacher taught you that what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. It means that what you see on the screen is what you get when you print it out. Are you okay? Good. Then we have the C, which is what? Hard copy. It is the printed output from the computer. It is the printed copy from the computer. So when the document is printed on a paper, we call it what? Hard copy. When a document is printed on a paper, we call it what? Hard copy. Then the D, we have a soft copy. It is the data that is shown or displayed on the screen or audio or video form which only exists electronically. So what you see on the screen, as you can see on at the back of my screen now, that is soft copy. So what you can see, Justice Computing Class, JCC, that is soft copy. It means that it is on the computer. Can you see it? So it is on the computer. But when Justice Computing Class is printed on a paper, then we call it what? Hard copy. Have you seen the difference? So in other words, in case in the exam they ask you what is the difference between soft copy and hard copy, soft copy documents are documents that are what? Printed on a paper, whilst hard copy documents, soft copy documents are documents that are viewed on the computer screen, whilst hard copy documents are documents that are printed what? On the paper. Simple answer for you to get your answers correct. Then let's move on to question 3. Question 3. Computer hardware refers to, when we say computer hardware, what is computer hardware? In other words, we say they are the physical component of the computer that can be seen, touched, and felt. Are you okay? They are the physical component of the computer that can be seen, touched, and felt, which means that you can touch it and what? You can feel it that you've touched something. So that we call them what? Computer hardware. So let's look at some. The next question is what? List 3 examples of hardware. List 3 examples of hardware. So we have the monitor, the system unit, the keyboard, and the mouse. I want to clarify this. When you meet this type of question, whereby they ask you what is hardware, and the next question was list 3 examples or 4 examples of computer hardware, please, automatically they are asking you to give the 4 main parts of the computer. Are you okay? They are asking you to what? Give the 4 main parts of the computer. Assuming there is and they ask you what is a computer. The next question is what? Give me the 4 parts or give me the 3 parts of what? A computer. Know that don't bring in printer, don't bring in projector. They are all peripheral devices that are connected to what? The computer. But the most important one that makes up the computer is the keyboard, the system unit, the mouse, and what? The monitor. Are you okay? So in this case, we have the monitor, we have the system unit, we have the keyboard, and we have the mouse. Question BI, that's question 3A, BI. Backup data refers to us, when we say backup data, it refers to us what? So backup data is the process of what? Storing copies of data and program on different storage devices so that it can be used in an event of disaster or loss of original data. I go over again. Backup data is the process of what? Storing copies of data and program on different storage devices so that it can be used in an event of disaster or loss of what? Original data. So when I'm having a hard disk or external drive, are we okay? Then I have my personal computer. I have information, every information on my computer, but I still have the same copy of information on my external drive, thinking that in case I lose or I lost all the information I have on my computer is lost, then I can fall on the hard disk or the external hard drive to retrieve my information. So some of the examples of how do you call it, backup data, storage device that serve as backup data. We have the hard disk, we have the pen drive, we have the floppy, we have the how do you call it, the CD and the DVD, that which is the digital visitor disk. Okay, I think the next question was that, so you should list 3 backup storage media, which is what? Magnetic tape, optical disk, the external hard disk, then flash disk. Remember, the flash disk is same as what? Pen drive. Question 4 is state how spreadsheet cells named. State how spreadsheet cells are named. So cells are named from their column alphabet and their row number. For example, a cell at column C, row 3 is named as what? C3. Your teacher taught you that. Cell reference C3. Are you okay? I go over again. Cells are named from their column alphabet and their row number. For example, a cell at column C, row 3 is named cell C3. Then B, what is the use of the autosum? It is a function that is used automatically add up number in a cell range. I go over again. Autosum, it is a function that is used to automatically add up number in a cell range. The next one is state 2 differences between spreadsheet and Word. Differences between what? Spreadsheet and Word. So we have spreadsheet is a grid of rows and column, while word processing application consists of what? Plain sheets for entering text. Another one, spreadsheet is used to apply arithmetic and mathematical function to numerical data, while word processing application is used for editing and formatting chain text and graphics. I go over the differences again. Spreadsheet is a grid, rows and column, whilst word processing application consists of what? Plain sheets for entering text. The next one, spreadsheet is used to apply arithmetic and mathematical function to a numerical data, while word processing application is used for editing and formatting chain text and graphics. So we have the next one, which one? Give 2 examples of what? Spreadsheet. Another 2 examples for what? Word processing application. Remember, we have different types of spreadsheet application, but in Ghana here we are actually familiar with the Microsoft Excel. So we have the first one to be what? Microsoft Excel. We have the next one to be what? Quattro Pro. We have the next one to be what? Lotus 1, 2, 3. We have the Word Perfect. For the Word Perfect is for word processing. Then we have Microsoft Word. They have Open Office. So I go over again. For the spreadsheet application, we have Microsoft Excel. Then we have another one which was the Quattro Pro. Then we have Lotus 1, 2, 3. They are all examples of what? Spreadsheet application. But when we come to Word, we have Word Perfect, we have Microsoft Word, and we have Open Office. Question 5. Now, question 5. Write the following acronyms in full. The first one is URL, which stands for Uniform Resource Locator. URL, which stands for Uniform Resource Locator. Then we have the www, which stands for what? World Wide Web. Then we have HTML, which stands for what? Hypertext Markup Language. Then we have HTTP, which stands for what? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. I go over again. The URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. The www stands for World Wide Web. The HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Then the IV, which is the HTTP, stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Then the next question, which is the last question for today's lesson, which is provide the part of the URL which is We have it here as you can see on your screen. That's the http://www.wayekghana.org. That matches the following terms. So as you can see on your screen, just navigate it, look at it closely, and think of how to navigate or how to what it will match the following terms as I'm about to mention. So we have the first one, which is protocol. So the protocol is the http://. Are you okay? Then we have the host name. The host name is the Wayek Ghana. Are you okay? The host name is the Wayek Ghana. Then we have the domain name. The domain name is what? The www.wayekghana.org. That is the domain name. Then we have the domain name extension. That is the .org. Are you okay? I go over again. The protocol is what? The http://. Then we have the host name, which is the Wayek Ghana. Then we have the domain name, which is what? That's the www.wayekghana.org. Then we have the domain name extension, which is the .org. Are we okay? Yes. So today, this brings us to the end of today's lesson. I expect you to mark your scripts. That's the objective answers. I know you've jotted something down. Make sure you go through your script as the past question as I've given to you. I expect you to make sure that you revise, prepare yourself, and groom yourself well for the upcoming BEC. I know you get grade 1 in ICT actually. So the only thing is that you have to discipline yourself, sit with your book, and remember, stay home. And I love you guys all. See you in our next lesson. Bye bye.
Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share for more of this computing videos. Justice Computing class is the best. Thank you.
ICT is for everyone.